Before they ever set foot in America, many British tourists thought they already knew what to expect. Big cities, endless highways, and the America they had only seen in movies. But what they discovered was something completely different. Quiet streets, huge houses, perfect lawns, friendly neighbors who actually stopped to say hello. For many of them, walking through an ordinary American neighborhood felt almost unreal, like stepping into a movie set that somehow existed in real life. But it wasn't just the size of the homes or the wide open spaces that surprised them. It was the people. Strangers waving from their porches, neighbors offering help without expecting anything back. Simple moments that completely challenged the image they had carried for years. And by the end of their trip, many British visitors realized something they never expected. The real America wasn't found in the famous landmarks, it was hiding in everyday neighborhoods.
Made it to the American suburbs. I'm on Coconut Breeze Drive. Look at these houses. They all look exactly the same. Actually feels like I'm on a movie set. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, everyone has the exact same back garden. They all have pools. They all have inflatables in it. Like, tell me, when you imagine a house, is this not the most book standard, just perfect house? Like, it's just everything so aesthetically just boom, 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 boom. The thing is that ideally, it sounds like a great place to live, but I feel like it would just be way too boring. Like, look how quiet it is. There's not a soul out. Obviously, this is very different to the council flats in London, but I see why people like it. I really do. Like, it's just calm. It's just mellow. Like, I genuinely see myself, okay, maybe when I'm like 45, not when I'm younger, but definitely moving out here. Like, this seems like a vibe.
If you're an American, you can probably not relate, but all this for European feels like we're right inside of a movie. Like these type of houses, of course with the American flag, or the little bench on the patio, so cute. I can totally see the pumpkins that will be placed here in fall. A lot of Europeans grow up watching American movies, and the scenery we only know from movies. This is why it feels so nostalgic, and I know it doesn't make any sense to Americans, but that's just how it is.
Okay, this is the America they don't show you on the media. We're in Bayview, right outside Petoskey, and honestly, it feels like stepping into a storybook. Every single house is painted in a different colour with these perfect porches and gardens. It's literally picture perfect. I also feel like this town was the most flag-happy town I've ever seen. Everyone had multiple, 3 or 4 flags on there, and they also had this special Bayview flag, which is the first time I've seen this in any American neighbourhood, where they actually have a flag for their own little town, village, or whatever they call it. Back home in the UK, we do not have any neighbourhoods like this, I can tell you that. So you'd think, looking at this town, oh, these people would be pretentious and stuffy. Oh no, you couldn't be more wrong about that. The people here are incredibly humble, warm, and genuinely kind. It doesn't feel touristy, it feels like a real community. This house looks like Rapunzel's house. I'm obsessed with it, with the little garden, oh my god. Northern Michigan, why is nobody talking about it? And finally, we have clear skies at the Perry Hotel. Who else knows about this neighbourhood? Where else do you recommend that I go and see?
Appreciating the beautiful American neighborhood. Look at that sunset. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Peaceful, safe, flags everywhere. People who love their country. Oh, what a dream. What a dream!
I'm a Brit living in America, and these are the biggest culture shocks that I found living in the US.
First things first, the mailboxes. The mailboxes here really are like the movies. They're kind of just outside your house. You don't have a letterbox. And also, people do love an American flag.
You don't really see anybody in the UK put a British flag outside their house, but here it's more normal to have a flag outside your house than not. Most houses in the UK, I would say, are townhouses or semi-detached houses. I grew up in that typical brick semi-detached house, where here most houses are just normal detached houses. This is something that I definitely don't think we have in the UK, but fire hydrants. We have a fire hydrant on every corner in our neighbourhood, and I think in any neighbourhood. They look like this, and it's just here obviously in case there's a fire. I also find here in the US people take a lot of pride in their home. Now, I'm not saying people don't in the UK, but look, people love to garden, they love to maintain the grass outside their house. Everything has to look perfect. Where I find in the UK, we're not as bothered about that. I've had a lot of comments saying all the houses here look exactly the same. While they definitely do look similar in some aspects, I also find they look more different than houses in the UK. Most single family homes here in the US will have a 2-car garage, which again, in the UK, if you have a garage, most of the time it's definitely not a 2-car garage. I mean, the garage that we had growing up, I don't even know if you could fit a car in there, but here, most garages you can fit 2 cars in. Anything else that you want to know, let me know in the comments.
Hey, I'm a British guy living in America. I've been here for about 8 years, down the shore, Jersey Shore, for 4th of July. And here are a bunch of things that I find uniquely American about the US shore compared to the British shore. Things you would find in only the American shore and not basically anywhere in the UK. Here we go. This weirdly long grass. Why is it so long? This like 60s style Miami house in New Jersey. The trio flagpole for free flags. Patriotism on display. Some sort of college sports propaganda here. Iowa Hawkeyes. Loose American footballs. Sprinkler systems. Only American. Outside spiral staircases to rooftops. Not unique to the shore, but these mailboxes, just love them. So American. This one's decorated with freedom. Ford Broncos are everywhere.
Come and explore the beautiful Beacon Hill with me today. I haven't really shown the Beacon Hill much in any of my videos. Iconic and loud, apparently. So we are in Charles Street and we are walking through the main high street, basically, of Beacon shops. So like beautiful little boutique shops. Most of the places are boutiques and it's absolutely stunning.
Recently, Zendaya was here. She filmed at this Tarte bakery.
So she was actually sitting outside of here. This place, people don't really walk this way that much, but I think this is so charming. Where it was gorgeous little area. So Charles Street is here, and then just behind Charles Street is where we looked at a place. So there's a little courtyard here, like a little garden almost, and this was where we viewed to rent. It was actually just one of the floors of this place. These are two that are joined together. It was just very expensive for what you got, and we decided against it. But what a beautiful location, and it has parking. You know, like, as much as I would absolutely love to live in Beacon Hill, there are cons of it. Like I said, there's a lot of tourists in the main street, which is like the one that's just here. Okay, let's go up one of the most beautiful streets in Beacon Hill. I love this street so much. This is Mount Vernon Street. Just stunning. Essentially, it's quite hilly in Beacon Hill. Got to get your strut on. And if you're wearing heels, beware of these paths because they're all uneven. In 1928, gorgeous restaurant. I love it in there. But how beautiful are the houses. And then there's just beautiful streets on every angle, on every side of you. So like, these streets are gorgeous. Can you continue on Mount Vernon Street? They're so beautiful, and like I said, like a lot of people just rent like one floor of these apartments. Yeah, I love Mount Vernon Street, but this part is gorgeous. Louisburg Square, beautiful already. I know so many of you will be happy that I'm showing Beacon Hill right now because you always ask me for it, and I don't actually spend that much time here. Like the stairs are even beautifully well kept as well. You can't, like, it's absolutely breathtaking. I adore it, and I love the foliage on the houses. And do not get me started on how beautiful this area looks in the fall, like fall Halloween time. This little street is called Willow Street. Okay, look at the height of this brownstone. So we're going to keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. I mean, it's tall. Okay, this is the most photographed street in America. It's a very quiet residential street. It's called Acorn Street. And it's stunning. Look at the beauty, look at the road. I love this, although it's a pain to walk on. You're literally going to break your ankle. But it looks beautiful. And it's got normally a little American flag at the end of it. I can't see it today though. This is me on Acorn Street. No one need to take a photo of me, so what do you think of Beacon Hill?
As someone who grew up in Europe, especially in Germany, there's something so cool about American suburbs, and I don't think Americans are realizing that. For me, this really feels like I'm walking through a movie set. And I know that doesn't make sense for a lot of people who grew up here, but I get so excited every time I see a yellow school bus, or like these long drives away with the basketball hubs, or even like these random sidewalks as I'm walking here right now. So please tell me I'm not the only one.
Okay guys, for as long as I've known, I've been obsessed with America, and I've been obsessed with one thing in particular. Their post boxes. Check these out. These are literally like just in the movies, bro. This is crazy. Oh, I love the way they're just outside your porch. You just want to see the newspapers get thrown into the driveway. I love that. We don't have that back home in England. We just have like a normal post box. I don't even know how to describe it. It definitely doesn't look like this. That's for sure.
We have just arrived at an air park neighborhood. Almost every front drive has a plane parked on it. This is basically like a plane neighborhood. If you have a plane, you come and live here and you can drive down here and there's a runway just off of it. So you drive your plane down the road and onto the runway, and there's over 600 of these in America. Roughly. What? You would never get this in the UK. This is crazy. Look, plane there, plane there, plane down there. What in the world, man? This is why I love America. I never knew about this till just now. This man here just showed me. That's crazy, bro. You literally just come out of your house, get in your plane, drive it down the road onto the runway and take off, and see you later, mate. This is why it's called the land of the free. It is wild. Planes in pretty much, well, yeah, in every single drive, because you wouldn't live here unless you got a plane. Look how wide the road is.
I am in the US right now, and I feel like I need to whisper to say this because I'm walking outside in the neighborhood and there is literally no one. I'm the only one walking outside, and I feel like I'm in a movie. This is everything that I've seen in movies, and I am right now in it. It actually looks like a movie set. It just doesn't look real. It's so calm. I'm not used to that, but it really looks like a movie. I feel like I'm in a movie.
I'm a Brit living in Las Vegas, and these are the biggest culture shocks I've experienced in my neighborhood.
Can someone explain to me why I have to walk all the way down the street to get my mail? It's all put in this little mailbox here, and you have a key for your number.
And one thing I don't remember ever seeing in neighborhoods in England was fire hydrants, but this one here is actually in my front garden. Now, we do live in an HOA neighborhood, which means everybody's front lawns are gorgeous. There's no weeds, you have to have a certain number of plants, your trees can't be dead, and if you don't abide by the rules, you get fined. But that does mean that the whole street looks really, really nice all the time.
Now, please remember we live in the desert, so not many people have grass, and if they do, it's normally fake.
In our neighborhood, as part of the HOA rules, you're also not allowed to park on the street overnight. If you do, your car can get towed, which means there's never any random cars just parked on the street. And if palm trees count as a culture shock, we have them in abundance.
And baby palm trees.
Now, I do live in a gated community, so there's a gate where you drive in at the front, but then also there's several other gates throughout the neighborhood that are pedestrian, and they go out onto these walking trails. There's also not a single brick house in my entire community. There's also a dog bin and free poo bags just like on the street in here. And this is so cool. We have a pool and a hot tub that anyone that lives here can use. In England, I'm so used to seeing terraced houses or semi-detached, but in this part of our neighborhood, every single house is a detached house, which they call a single family home. And the biggest shock of all is that from our street, you can actually see the Las Vegas Strip.
How cool.
Here are some things in my American neighborhood that shocked me after growing up on a council estate. First up is these signs. Where I grew up, people would literally just fly around the corners. No one would stop, and you would literally have to have eyes on the back of your head. A lot of houses in America have the American flag outside. I honestly don't know why. I assume it's because they're proud of their country. Another big one that blew my mind was having furniture outside. Now, every area in the UK is different, so please don't come for me. But like I said, I grew up on a council estate, so anything you put outside wouldn't last 5 minutes. So seeing people have barbecues, plants, literally all sorts outside blew my mind. Now, this is my house, and I am proud to say that there'll be no chavs taking my stuff. Even my little gingerbreads are safe. And by all means, I do not live in a rich neighbourhood, but I also do not live in a poor area. But seeing people have boats outside of their house, like obviously they have money, but it just blew my mind.
A lot of houses also have basketball hoops. I assume that they're laid down in case they fall over in the wind, but I can honestly see us having a hoop when Mayan's older. Another one that I actually don't really like is the colour of the houses. We live in a HOA, so you have to have your house a certain colour, but that bright blue is just very outstanding. We have normal trees in front of our house, but then we also have palm trees, and that is because we live in Florida. Here in Florida, having a truck is like a normal car, but if this truck was on the roads where I used to live, oh my gosh, it would look like a monster truck. I want to say literally every other house in my neighbourhood owns a truck. Another big difference and another big shocker is the mail. Your mail gets left in the mailbox or on your front step if it's a big parcel. And you can also send mail out by putting this red lever up, and the mailman or lady will take it to the post office for you, as long as it has a prepaid stamp.
Hey, British guy living in America, been here for about 8 years, recently moved out to the suburbs. Get a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, why do British people and people outside of America say it always looks and feels like the movies? Because it does. Tell me this isn't the opening scene to like some suburban teen drama or even a horror. Look at this. It's idyllic. It's right out of the movies. Houses look all American. Look, American house. Look at that. That is some movie opening. All you need are like 3 best friend boy 13-year-olds riding a bike, and most of them are called Brody, and then you got it. You got the opening of a film. I don't think a lot of Americans understand the cultural weight that this country, this titan, carries in other countries around the world. I grew up in Britain, in the countryside, rolling countryside, exactly what you'd imagine Britain to be. And I grew up with Sum 41, Blink 182. I grew up with American Pie. I grew up with American actors and films and Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, the American culture is cemented in the British way of life and many other cultures around the world. So when we say it's like the movies, it's because it's like the movies.
Going for a walk around this little neighborhood, and I thought I would just show you the houses because they're definitely interesting. So they all have like one tree in the front yard. It's just like one house, and then there's just like grass. They don't have any side fences, but they do have back fencing. Their cars are massive. Everyone has this like no soliciting sign. It's heaps of common to get like door knockers and people trying to sell you stuff. It's also very common to have the American flag in your front yard, and that is the Texas flag.
I'm a Brit living in America, and these are the biggest culture shocks that I've experienced. So I do live in a HOA neighbourhood as well, which means that everyone has to keep their grass at a certain height and all really neat. So everyone in this entire neighbourhood have got really nicely kept front gardens, which I find in England is not something that most people really do. American flags are very common out here. You'll see them on people's houses or on their mailboxes as well. Now, this is something that you do not see in England. People just do not put up the British flags. Out here in America, the most common house that you'll find is a detached house. Now, this is something that we are not very used to in England. I would say mostly they are townhouses or semi-detached houses. So another thing that you don't really see in England are fire hydrants. Now, fire hydrants are out here, out in the open. Right there, you'll often see them throughout the neighbourhood as well. And that's something that I don't think I ever really saw back in the UK. Another one was the size of the roads and the cars out here in America. America is known for everything to be bigger, and those are definitely bigger. It took a bit of getting used to, but we've been here 6 weeks now, so I feel like we're quite comfortable being on the big roads. And if palm trees count as a cultural difference, then that is definitely something that Florida has an abundance of, and I love it. Out here in America, everyone has post boxes, mailboxes that are outside of their house, so there's no letter boxes. The mail comes out here, which actually works great. As we have dogs, it means that the dogs bark so much less because the postman does not come to your door. Another one is so many houses have these basketball hoops, and this, honestly, it is just like the movies. Just a reminder, we do have brick houses out here in Florida too.
I literally feel like I'm in a movie right now. Look at this. Massive clock tower right there. There's some sort of, I don't even know what that is, a museum. This is literally small town America, just like you see it in the movies. There's even a pharmacy here that looks like it's out of the 1930s. Like, look at that. I honestly could live here. Like, this is crazy. I'm in Covington, Georgia. So if anybody knows where that is, it's a little bit south of Atlanta. But yeah, this is amazing. I absolutely love it. If you want to see more adventures than me in America, drop me a follow.
Here are things in my American neighbourhood that just won't make sense to a British person. The houses are not attached like they are where I grew up in the UK. If your house was detached in the UK where I lived, then you were considered rich. Next up we have basketball hoops. Pretty much every house that has kids that live in it has a basketball hoop. Every single house in my neighbourhood has a garage. Where I lived in the UK, none of the houses had garages. Again, if you had a garage, then you were considered rich. With the garages, everyone leaves them open, no one has to worry about anything getting stolen, anything being moved or anything like that. On the topic of things being stolen, people have patio furniture, people leave their bikes outside, they literally leave anything outside and they don't have to worry about it being stolen. In the UK, when the bin man comes, if the rubbish is not inside of the bin, then he's not going to take it. Here, you can have it like this and everything will be gone. Doesn't matter what it is, they take it. Next up, we have a mailbox. We don't have letterboxes on the door like you do in the UK, so pretty much anyone can steal your mail, but why would anyone want to steal your bills? Not only that, it is also a crime. This red handle on the side lets the mailman know whether you have outgoing mail, and he will take it to the post office. Next up, everyone's grass looks like this. We live in a HOA, so everybody's grass has to be maintained. Unfortunately, if you own your house, you have to do it yourself. If you rent, these guys will do it for you.
I'm a Brit living in America, so I'm going to show you some of my favourite things in my American neighbourhood compared to my UK one. This, no horn blowing, $50 to $100 fine. Never seen that before in the UK. I should say we live in Hoboken, which is in New Jersey, opposite New York. So it's different every town, you know, but this is my favourite things about our town. So people just leave things on like their doorstep for you to come and take, which I think is really cute. In the UK, we don't really leave stuff outside. We just normally take it to the charity shop. So it's quite cute that you guys, you know, support each other. Another one of just stuff left outside to take. You guys are going to think I'm weird, but we don't have this in the UK, like these little pull fins. That's very American to me. So obviously we do have mailboxes, but I can't tell you how many times I thought this is a trash can when it's not. Your mailboxes, that does confuse me. Every single block will have a crossing. In the UK, you've got like 110 miles just to find a crosswalk. I'm sure every Brit that moves to America says this, but these fire hydrants, they are just so American to us. I want to try and open it, I don't know. And is it true in the summer you guys open it so we can like cool off? Because I'm sweating still. I think it's 33 degrees and I ain't used to it. School buses, don't have them in the UK, how cool. American flag just flying high and proud. In the UK, we're not very patriotic compared to you guys, but I do think it's really cool. And in the most corners, like we've got a wrap place, we've got a pizza place down there, we've got a restaurant, and then we've got a coffee shop there. Maybe this is just a Hoboken thing, but I feel like every corner of a block has something fun on it. I can't tell you how bad it is for my bank balance.
Now, I am British and I am currently in an American neighbourhood. This time it's a Boston neighbourhood. And I'm going to show you some of the differences between Boston and the UK. For a start, the colours are wild. This is a fall in America. Now, the last time I did an American neighbourhood, it was in the south in North Carolina, where the houses were all kind of single floors. Here, every house has 2 floors. So the houses seem bigger, but they are still made of wood. Now, remember the fire hydrants? These have flags on them. Now look at this. This is a newspaper. I think it's just been thrown on the driveway. If that was to happen in the UK, there'd be uproar. One thing I will say is it does feel a lot more British. I'm feeling like there's a bit of an English influence here. The weather for sure, because it is colder. We've still got the American flags. Can always guarantee. Every house is like something out of a Christmas movie. Like this should be on a postcard. Wait until you see this. This is a baseball field just right by a neighbourhood. Look at that. This is bonkers. In the UK, this would be a football pitch. Sorry, soccer. When I've been in the south, I haven't seen a baseball pitch right next to a neighbourhood. So does that mean that baseball is better in the north? One thing I will say is it does feel a little bit more neighboury. Everyone seems like they live closer together. So I don't know if that means that people are more friendly or it's just a smaller state so they have to live closer together. That is my comparison of American neighbourhoods through these Brits' eyes. But don't go anywhere because I feel like there's going to be a lot more to come.
Hey, I'm a Brit living in the American suburbs. Here are some more things that I think are very, very American about the suburbs. Things that you would find in the American suburbs that you cannot find in the British suburbs or anywhere in Britain for that matter. Okay, here we go. The first couple you can't see. One is, I can't film right now, but one is garbage men. First of all, it's called rubbish back home. Rubbish men, garbage men, hanging off the back of their trucks. Ooh, what a quintessentially American thing to see. The second thing are lightning bugs. I love lightning bugs. They, to me, feel so American. They hark back to a day when I was watching A Bug's Life in the UK and looking at all of these exotic bugs that you don't get in Britain. So, yes, that is another one. Lightning bugs. Okay, next we've got that rolled up newspaper that comes flying out. It comes flying out of doors. People just drive by and just fucking throw it out there. Lands perfectly. Traffic lights that hang. Batting cages might just be the most American, suburban American thing you'll ever see. No baseball fields and batting cages or whatever in the UK. None. Look, there's one here too. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.